But for the purposes of this video, I just want to talk about the objections that you can fix or hopefully avoid altogether so that you can avoid refusals, avoid objections altogether, or you can get a much faster trademark registration to the extent that you would consider 2 years to be fast. So the number or the types of objections that are the most common in Canadian trademark applications include a wrong identification of the applicant, a wrong identification of the type of trademark, and an incorrect classification and description of goods and services. So with respect to an incorrect identification of the applicant, generally speaking, applicants are either individuals or they're organizations. There can be only one applicant. You can't have multiple different applicants on a trademark application unless you have, individuals or corporations who are acting in a legal partnership. But for the vast majority, you're either a sole proprietor and you're applying to register your name and your logo as your trademarks, in which case you as the individual are going to be the applicant, or you can have a corporation apply. If you're going to, with respect to identifying the type of trademark, so if you're going to create an account with the Canadian Intellectual Property Office and you're going to DIY your trademark application, when you get to the page that asks you to identify your trademark, there are 12 different types of trademarks that you can select. You have to select one. And so for the vast majority of them, if you select it, it's going to trigger some sort of requirement to show that your trademark is distinctive. If that's the case, there's a good chance you probably have misidentified the type of trademark. So there really are two different types of trademarks that the majority of business owners are going to claim. One is a word mark. So it's basically a name or a tagline, a trademark that is comprised of nothing but words. One word or multiple words put together. The other type of trademark is a design mark with or without words, and that tends to be your logo. So you want to make sure that you're correctly identifying who the applicant is and what type of trademark you are applying to register. Now, those aren't the most common types of reasons why you would get an objection from the Trademarks Office. The vast majority, and I would say probably 80% of trademark applications, receive an objection to the description of the goods and services claimed or to their classification. Classification is a relatively new requirement in Canadian trademark applications. It only became required in 2019. And so there's a lot of educational component to learning the classifications of different goods and services. I'm not going to get into so much the classifications. There is a classification tool online. It's offered by the World Intellectual Property Office. You can go in and you can try to search your goods and services. You can even do that on the Canadian Trademarks database to determine what classes really apply. There's only 45 different classes that you can pick from. So you can try to figure out that way what classes your goods and services are covering. The biggest kind of obstacle or hurdle or kind of challenge that you will have as a trademark applicant is describing your goods and services in compliance with Canadian trademark rules. I can say the Canadian Trademarks Office, out of all of the different offices worldwide in terms of registering trademarks, has some of the most stringent requirements in terms of describing goods and services. So their standard is you have to describe your goods and services in specific and ordinary commercial terms. Now, what qualifies as specific and ordinary commercial terms is kind of a moving target. It's constantly evolving. And so if you're going to look at trademark registrations that were issued, even I would say like 2018 and before, there is a good chance that they are no longer, the descriptions used in those are no longer acceptable under Canadian trademark rules. And so it is constantly evolving. And so if you want to look at previous trademarks as an example, be wary that it may not comply with description rules. There is this thing called a pre-approved list. So the goods and services manual that is published by the Canadian Trademarks Office. And if you pick exclusively goods and services from this list, the Trademarks Office already knows that your goods and services comply with Canadian trademark rules. And hey, they're going to accelerate the examination of your trademark application. If you have to add in a custom description, so what you're selling or something that you're planning to sell, and oftentimes if you're an innovative company and you're developing something new, there is a good chance that what you're selling or what you're planning to sell is not going to be on the pre-approved list. And so you need to come up with a custom description that will comply with the level of specific that they need and ordinary commercial terms that they also need in order to examine and approve your description of goods and services. And so this is not an easy thing for a lot of people who are not familiar with the rules and with registering trademarks and knowing, kind of being able to gauge the instinct, to have an instinct on what will be considered specific and ordinary commercial terms to meet the Trademarks Office requirements. So this is one of the reasons why you would want to enlist the help of a registered Canadian trademark agent to help you prepare and file your trademark application and to deal with the Trademarks Office in terms of addressing any objections when it comes to how your goods and services are described. Because you do want to meet the Trademarks Office requirements, but you also want to be broad enough in order to give to have a broad trademark registration, to give your company and your business an opportunity to grow and to expand and make sure that what you're doing is actually going to be covered under your trademark registration, because the point at which you apply will be a couple of years before you actually get your registration. And so you want it to reflect what it is you're actually doing. And so that is some of the value that a trademark agent can bring to the process. And it's actually something that is baked right into our Markably online trademarking platform. Is we help you come up with a compliant description of what it is you're selling so that your trademark application is hopefully going to be accelerated, but if not, at least going to avoid objections to how you have described and classified your goods and services. So if you want to check out the Markably platform and how it works in terms of describing goods and services, you can visit us at markably.ca. All you need to do is get started for free. You don't have to pay to access the system. You can see how it works and the information that is required, and we guide you through describing your goods and services in compliance with Canadian trademark rules.